Hi, welcome everyone. I'm Barbara Way from the Front Royal Women's Resource Center, and I'm so glad you're here with us. We want to welcome you to our monthly Woman Gathering here at Open House Meet in the Middle on Main Street, and this is provided by Beth Waller of What Matters. So thank you so much, Beth, for this beautiful space that you provide for us. I just want to briefly introduce you to the Front Royal Women's Resource Center. We empower women to change their world. That's our vision, and our mission is to connect women in our community through programs, information, and education. And just another little highlight here. As I said, we connect women to each other, and we help women and girls through our grants. Our website is wrc@frwrc.org. And right now, I'd like to introduce you to our moderator, who is an integrative body worker. She is a longtime member and supporter of Front Royal Women's Resource Center, and just an overall fabulous person, Eka Kapiotis.
Thank you. Thank you, Barbara. I'm very happy to be here, and I welcome everyone, and particularly our guest, Laura. I forgot to ask you how to say your last name. Is it Corebello?
That's right.
Oh, yeah. Okay, Corebello. I'm really glad you're here.
Thank you. Thank you for asking me.
I've been a fan of yours on Blue Mountain for a while because you do art parties, right?
Yes, I do.
Great. And so you post them on Facebook, and
That's
we get to see all the pictures.
Exactly.
Tell us something about it. What do you do?
I'd like to start out by saying I was an art teacher for many years, almost 30 years. And I taught elementary school children in Frederick County art. And I retired about two and a half, 3 years ago. And when I retired, I still couldn't get the teaching part out of me. I just, couldn't sit still with that. So I also didn't know any of my neighbors. I was always going to work and going to school, coming home, and the weekends involved cleaning the house and, doing your chores.
Grocery shopping.
All that, and doing grades and all. So I never really met anybody that even lived on the mountain. So I put it out there to have a paint club for women, or mostly women, but men do come occasionally, and to have a social event and do a little bit of learning, and that's how it started. So from there, it's expanded to maybe about, I don't know, it started with a few people, and now it seems like maybe 60 people have come to the party at different times, but I can only have like 8 people at a time.
So it's a kind of a fun, intimate party.
It's exactly what I wanted it to be. I wanted it to be a club. And to give people, to teach people and give them a little bit of what I know, and just meet each other and have a social event. That's basically what I wanted to do. It wasn't like a paint party that you see, in the restaurants or anything. It's completely different.
Well, I've never been to any of them, so how is it different from a paint other paint? What makes you unique?
What makes my parties unique?
Yeah.
The personal attention. I want to give women a chance to do something that they never thought they could do. And there's always something it could be sewing, or anything that you fear it, you say, I've never done it, I'm not good at it. And I wanted to let people experience art when they thought they never could do it. And that was my purpose.
Great, and here you are doing something that you thought you never could do, being on Facebook Live.
Not in my comfort zone at all. Don't like to be in the limelight, but...
Well, you're doing a great job.
Well, thank you.
Yeah.
Well, I've taught for many years, but talking in front of children is completely different than talking in front of adults.
Yeah, I'm sure.
I mean, I could do things and say
Yes.
things and make them laugh, and if an adult was in the room, I probably wouldn't do most of the things that I do.
Well, I bet
Being goofy and
you entertain your adult clients in a different way, right?
I think so. I think so. Yeah, I had said, well, one of the quotes that I like is about Picasso. And Picasso said that every child is an artist. The problem is when he grows up to remain the artist. And we all have it in us to be an artist. It's just that when you grow up, you start comparing yourself to someone else and saying, I'm not good enough. I can't do that. And I am guilty of doing that. Believe me, I am. You know, you don't want to, but you do compare yourself. Well, I can't be as good as that person. But everyone has their own signature. When you write your name, you sign your name the way you want to, right?
Yeah.
And your signature is not the same as mine and the same as anybody else. And when you paint, that's like your signature. And your painting is not going to be exactly the same as anyone else, and it makes it unique.
Yes, and it's that uniqueness that gives it value, that you put yourself into it, right?
Exactly right.
Yeah.
Exactly right.
So how do you make people comfortable if they are thinking, I don't know how to do this, I can't do it?
Oh.
What do you do to help them?
Well, I think the atmosphere helps because it's in my home, which is kind of cozy, small, and what we do is we share food, and we come in and just everyone has a snack that they bring or whatever, and drinks and wine, yes.
Okay.
And then I have a mixologist who happens to be here today.
Oh, I was shopping for St. Patrick's Day.
Oh, okay.
She's my mixologist, yes.
Awesome.
All right.
Yeah, Appalachian Sunrise for Blue Mountains.
Yes, if we have a theme that goes on, she'll pick up on the theme and make a drink that's for that.
Great.
So making people feel comfortable. And the question was, how do you make them feel comfortable with art and painting? Teaching is innate. You get a feeling for it. And there might be 8 people in front of me, and I can tune into each one of those people and know exactly what they need. She needs me to encourage. She needs me to take the paintbrush and show her how to move it. She doesn't want me to touch her painting, so I'm going to show her here. It's reading people and figuring out what they need. And the biggest thing is that I do not want anyone to leave my house, my studio, without feeling happy with what they've done. That's a big reflection on me. That is my number one thing, that do not leave without knowing that everyone was happy with what they did.
Yeah.
And it's all reading people, Eka. It's just all reading. That's what teaching is.
That's
Connection.
so cool. I hadn't really thought of it that way, but yeah. And you have so many years of experience doing that.
I hate to tell you, yes. Too many years. A lot of years. But, I had to transform from little children to adults, which was a big thing. It was my first party. I was really, really nervous. I'm like, oh my gosh, big people. I've only, done little people, And what I learned is that you're not too much different than the kids. Not too much different.
Once you peel it all away, there you are, right?
Yeah.
I am so a big girl.
That's right. But it's like what happens when you teach children. You've got your kindergarten kids, your first and your second and your third. They are so uninhibited. They would do anything and love it. You don't ever hear from little kids, I don't like it. They don't do that. They love everything they do. They just want encouragement and all that. When they get to be about 4th grade, 5th grade, and a little bit older, they start doing that comparing. I'm not as good as that one. I can't do this, and so I always say there's no can't in this room. So you start feeling that inhibition around, I'd say 10, 11, around that, and it just gets worse and worse as you get older.
Kind of that, is that what they call a tween?
Yeah.
Where you're not a teenager yet?
Right, and the middle school kids,
Yeah.
That unless they've had good success, they might just want to drop out of art. I can't do it.
Yeah.
So that's a challenge. And so you have adults who already have a preconception that they can't do it. They can't paint.
Right.
I don't know how to
would
paint.
come in with that.
I paint.
Yeah.
And so it's a matter of simplifying, step by step simplifying. And
Okay, so you take them like step by step through what to do.
yeah.
I mean, I've not ever been to one, and maybe some
You need to
people
come.
also have never been to one. So
Well, we have
I'm
two
gonna have to
people
change
that
it.
have been here.
Yeah.
Maybe they can.
yeah.
We compete for best improved, most improved. but
I always win.
no.
Oh, you have to.
I am always most improved. I am one of those people who have no art talent. I can't paint. And when I went to Laura's parties, she didn't tell me to paint. What she told me to do was make a line. Make an uneven line. I can do that.
Oh, that's brilliant.
Draw a triangle. Make a V. Paint it down the V. And she breaks it down into the levels that are not frightening to me. She doesn't tell me to paint a river. I don't know how to paint a river. But she tells me, draw a line. Paint light blue. Now with this brush, paint dark blue. With this brush, put a thin brown line. With a dry brush, paint it this way. And she breaks it down that much for me so that I can do everything that she describes. And I end up with a pretty painting,
That is
which is
wild.
amazing. I could not do that. I'm sorry, Laura, but she really is a genius.
Oh, thank you.
You're gonna have to
Yeah,
take
thank
it.
you.
I didn't pay her to say that.
You didn't?
But
Yeah, she's okay.
you have to tell them the story about the holding the brush and
Oh, yeah, I am.
the most improved artist.
I am
Okay.
truly, in fact, my first lesson was private. I had done a personal favor for Laura when she was ill. And I said, okay, teach me how to paint. And I brought a picture and she said, okay, so what you want to do is you just paint a background here. So I started painting a background and she goes, well, that's not quite right. That was 2 strokes. Yeah, I heard this before. And she goes, well, you need to hold the brush. I'm holding the brush. Well, you need to stroke. And finally, the only way she could make me understand was literally, no, honey, with these fingers, this way. And I discovered if I did it her way, it looked pretty. So that is why I get the title of most improved. Everyone else has known how to hold a brush. And I'm learning my strengths and my weaknesses. I am learning that sometimes what I do is different but still good. I obviously don't have the techniques that Laura does, but I am learning to incorporate her techniques to make them mine through her guidance. And a couple of things Laura says is there are no mistakes in art. That doesn't mean she goes, well, let's see if we can make it a little better here. But if you look at the paintings, they're all different. We all painted flowers, but our flowers are different and reflective of us.
What she was talking about, the signature idea.
Right. Everyone's
and exactly.
signatures.
It's her guidance to make the V, to draw the squiggly line, to make the circle. If she thinks something's going to be difficult, Laura gives us stencils to help us out. She's
Little cheat sheets.
all about, yeah. She doesn't draw for us, but we create it, but she makes it possible. She tells us how to make the creation, which is great for your self-esteem, for something that, man, since I was 5 years old, they told me I couldn't do painting. I wasn't even, once I was out of finger paints, I was no good.
It's that brush thing, huh?
So that's the kind of thing that she can do. And do you feel good? She's always encouraging. I think because because Laura, the lady in the room, because Laura worked with children, she never talks down to us, but she's always encouraging and supportive. And that makes a big difference. And I mean, I get some questions like, what are you trying to do here? Is that what you're going for? And I was looking, one of my favorite paintings was Red Poppies. And I did something a little different. And she said, wow, you took that risk and it worked out well. Good job. Even though it didn't look like hers, I knew how I wanted to do it. And I think that's important, is she never says, give it up, girl. And she could.
Well, that's great.
Yeah.
So you did bring your fan club. Well, I'm sure it's a small part of your fan club.
Oh,
They
yes,
said-
it's a very
mixologist
small part
and
of
my
the fan club.
They said they were
most
the.
improved student and my mixologist. Yes.
Yes.
Okay, there you
And
go.
Pat is another person who's been doing my
Sometimes
parties.
she has to paint for me.
Yeah.
But I'm not an evening person, so I kind of peter out at the end.
We used to start our parties I think the first party I did it at 7 o'clock because I'm a night owl, and some of the people from the mountain, they're like getting tired, you know.
Yeah.
Can we start a little earlier?
Yeah.
I said, all right, we'll start. And I think I pushed it to 6:30 and then 6 and then 5:30.
Yeah.
And daylight savings time 5, you know.
5, uh-huh.
But now
Now you're talking my language.
right?
Yeah.
But now you're walking into dinner time, so the small snack to share has become potluck, you know. Who's bringing this soup, you know? We're having dinner, and then painting. So you know, it's okay. It's all good. It's all good.
It sounds like a lot of fun.
It is a lot of fun.
Yeah. And it sounds like you kind of have a mission too of, really helping people with confidence, not just paint, not just have a picture,
Right.
but really, you say it.
Well, it extends into other parts of your life, because if you can gain confidence in doing something that you didn't think you could do, then that gives you the confidence to do other things that you didn't think you can do either. Like the time my Jeep broke and I had to put the fender back on by myself. I mean, I never thought I could do something like that, and there I was on the ground pushing these things. God, I can't believe I'm doing this. You know, it gives you the confidence that you can really do it. And if you can't, you can at least try and then go get help, you know.
Right.
But and like I said, it extends into every aspect of your life.
Yeah.
Which I think art is important for all of us.
How did you get involved in that? How did you become an art teacher?
Well, I was sitting in my high school with my art teacher. I was in an all-girl private school, and it was a Catholic school. And the nun, Sister Gerard, she was what I wanted to be. I didn't want to be a nun, but I wanted to be what she did.
And that was?
Being an art teacher.
Okay.
I thought she was the best art teacher ever. And I wanted to be in that room teaching one day. And I went and did my student teaching in that room. And then, because you only need one art teacher, it's hard to get a job. And there was a man who got the job a year before me. He went to the same college I went to, and he got the job the year before, so it was done.
Yeah.
But I did, I went on from there and got a job later on. I was teaching in New Jersey. And
Is that where you're from?
I'm from Staten Island, New York.
Okay.
Can you tell? I've gotten rid of a lot of the accent, and then I moved to New Jersey, and I was there for a long time, and then I came down here 17 years ago. And
what brought you here?
A friend.
Okay.
A friend. But then I fell in love with the place, and I hadn't painted in a very long time. I mean, I was doing photography. I had a photography business, and I wasn't doing oil paintings.
What kind of photography were you doing?
I did portraits and weddings and things like that.
Okay.
And it was a hobby that turned into a little business. And, I still take up a little bit of it, but not seriously anymore. Once it becomes a job, it's not fun anymore. So I'd rather keep it as a hobby, and have fun with it. So yeah, so where was I? I forgot where I was.
You were in Staten Island.
Oh yes,
and then
I
you
came
were in
here. I came here.
Blue Mountains.
I saw those mountains, right? And I'm driving a little red Escort down here, and I said, "Oh my gosh, look at these!" I mean, it was just incredibly beautiful. So I would come like once a month, and I would bring my easel, and I said, "Oh, somebody's calling."
I'm sorry, it's mine.
It's all right.
We can get that.
Answer the phone.
So go on, you
Keep
climbed
going.
the mountain.
All right, so
They
I
are
went
amazing.
down 522, and I brought my easel and my paint, and I sat there with it. And by then there was nothing was around. It was very isolated, and I looked at this mountain range, and it was absolutely incredible. And I said, I can't do this. This is like God did this. I can't do this. And I went to get up. I honestly went to get up, and I heard this voice, Laura, if you don't paint, you'll never paint again. So I said, all right. So I sat down, and I trudged through it, and I did it. I still have that painting. It wasn't the best, but it was there. And so from there, I just kept on doing more. I like plein air painting. So I got back into it, and then of course you go teaching, and then you have no time to do it, and then back into it again. Mm-hmm. But yeah, I think art is a great way to express yourself, and it just is like therapy. Even if you're not the best artist, you lose track of time. You're in your own world. And you forget your troubles, and you just concentrate on what you're doing, and you have a product in the end, which I think, what I always say is, it's not the end result, it's the process that's important. And that's even with children when they're doing it. They're making decisions. They're making conscious decisions. Do I want red here? Do I want red here? Is this look balanced? And they're going through this. And I always say, like, kids like to talk a lot, especially in the art room. I'm like, but real artists don't talk. And then they're quiet. They don't talk. They concentrate on what they're doing because they're making decisions. So even when we are having our parties and all, you're making conscious decisions about what you're doing. And it is not, at the end, you've got a wonderful result, but that's not what's important. It's the process of doing it that's important. Going through that.
And so when you're making those decisions, what does that do, the decision-making process?
Well, it's actually a freedom. It's a freeing. Mm-hmm. And it's also giving you confidence.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. That makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Cool. Did anybody have any questions? Want to throw it out there? Any comments? Anybody do paint parties before?
Is tomorrow night PJ night?
Yes, we're all wearing our pajamas.
Saturday.
That's
Oh.
Saturday night.
Sorry.
We're wearing our pajamas. Yes, we're having a pajama party.
Now that, yeah.
Have you gotten into like the fundraiser world?
No.
That any of the paint jobs or paint parties could be?
I have been approached, but not. It'd have to be a certain kind of fundraiser.
Didn't you do
Yeah.
something for Jill?
For who?
Jill?
Jill. Oh, no, that
Jill.
was. Oh, that's right. I did. I
Yeah.
forgot. I did. Thank you.
You're welcome.
My mixologist is half my brain too. I forgot that. Yeah, I do home parties. So I mean, if you wanted a party at your house, I would come. But this woman Jill was doing a fundraiser at her house. I was thinking like,
Okay.
I was thinking big scale, like
Yeah.
at a school or something. That's.
Does that get to be like work to do something on that? I mean, on that scale?
It's not going to be the same.
Yeah, I wouldn't.
It's not going to be the same. It's going to be, doing something really simple. Everybody do this, and a little board, and it's not going to be what you get at the house.
It sounds
at the
really
studio.
fun, and the idea of doing it in your pajamas is just really great. I love that.
This is like I think the third pajama party we've had, and then we have at the end everybody holds their pictures up. We jump in my bed. We take a picture
That's
in bed.
great. That's great.
I know we're a little lazy, but
So I have one more question, and then we're going to have to start wrapping up. But what was your favorite thing to paint? I mean, do you have a favorite offering that you did?
favorite painting.
Well, a picture, yeah. I
Of
mean, you've had
myself
people.
or what I've taught them.
What you've taught. You've had poppies and roses and
Beach scenes. I think the beach scene was one of my favorites.
beach.
But it was hard for them.
Uh-huh.
They were crying. No.
Oh.
No. I can't get this umbrella. No.
Okay.
I pushed them.
You pushed
I
them.
pushed them
Okay.
for that one, yeah.
Were they experienced painters at that point, or did you have some
No,
newbies?
no.
No?
Mm-mm. Everybody
Okay.
was at a different level,
Okay.
But sometimes I give them something a little more difficult.
Yeah.
That, give them a challenge,
Uh-huh.
and then they meet the challenge. They do.
Yeah.
After a couple of drinks.
Yeah.
They do.
Did you have
No, I'm only kidding. Not everyone does
favorite
that.
picture
I
that
don't.
you did?
I'm sorry?
There's a poppy we did that was a long
poppy?
arrow with a great gray background, and it was just almost elegant when I did it.
Oh, nice. Okay.
That.
Do you have a favorite one?
I'm thinking a couple, the poppies, one that was, I think the painting that was the most fun was the one where we painted by blowing with straws.
Oh, well, you do, okay.
I didn't tell them
we
they were going to do
created
it.
the painting by blowing with straws. That was, and you could really tell the smokers had a hard time with it. One guy was really good, and he was like, I need a break.
Oh, well, thank you so much. That's
Yeah.
great.
I do have a quick
Yeah.
question.
Did you have
Okay.
So I assume that you get people of all range of talents. Is that pretty much true?
That's right.
So you'll have people that are really artists and then people that don't have a clue. And you still pull it off. Bravo.
Yeah.
Differentiation.
Yeah.
I have to mention that we were talking about the importance of art in our culture and how I believe that in our town that we are awakening now, and I'm so happy to see that art in the Valley has just opened up down the road and has brought in a gallery and art and lessons. Michael is an awesome artist, and he teaches classes as well, and I'm doing the children right now once a month. So you're talking about different ages and different. I had a kindergarten all the way through to 7th grade in one class.
Wow.
Okay, and they did it. You know, so it's called, you know, it's when you're teaching, even if you're teaching the same age group, there's always different levels and abilities. So you have to adjust your lesson for someone that wants more and someone that needs more help. So that's all in teaching. It's called differentiation.
Cool. I mean, and what a wonderful way to influence children too, and adults, you know, by really making them feel special and knowing that they're doing a great job and having fun doing it.
I hope so. That's my mission.
Straws, pajamas.
Oh, yes.
I mean, you know.
I never told them about the straws. I said, it's a special way we're going to paint. And then we did the background, and then I just started, I said, now this is what we're going to do. Plop some paint, and we blow it through the straw, blow air on it, and it goes, psh, you know. Look at it. Doesn't that look like a flower? Let's make that into a flower.
Cool.
And they were getting into it. They wanted to do more and more and more.
So how do people get in touch with you? How do they find out about your parties? What's the best way?
If you have Facebook, you could go to Blue Mountain Studio, and you can
Blue
find
Mountain
it there.
Studio?
Blue
Okay,
Mountain
great.
Studio.
And I think people can, if they're through the Women's Resource Center, this video will be available, so they'll be able to see that too. So anything that you wanted to say to wrap up?
I don't know. Anybody have questions? Did you have a question?
It wasn't really a question, it was kind of an observation when you were talking about what people get out of, the focus and being away from the world and the choices and that whole inner process. What came to mind was this incredible explosion of, adult coloring books.
Yes.
I mean, it's not even just for adults now, it's for every age.
Right.
But it's just, there's coloring books on every subject.
It's like people are craving an outlet.
Yeah.
And our world is so intense right now. So you want to run away and be relaxed. And so
it's almost like a meditative
right.
time.
The coloring books.
Thank you so much.
Thank you for having me here. I really appreciate it.
Great. It's been a pleasure to have you.
Thank you, Eka.
Thank you. And I'm going to turn it back over to Barbara Way.
Okay, and I will just thank Eka again for bringing these. She finds these amazing women. I mean, yeah, and I know you probably don't think you are, but I think she's quite remarkable.
yes.
Remarkable.
Thank you.
I think she's quite remarkable, and I'm just so pleased to know about this. So
Yes.
thank you for coming. Thank you for finding her.
Thank you.
And I will just end and tell everybody that right now we are in the process of ending our Dare to Dream grant. And we are going to have our Dare to Dream breakfast. Everybody's invited. It will be at Shenandoah Valley Country Club, and it is
March 28th.
Thursday. Thank you. March 28th, 8 a.m. Please go to our website. You can sign up for our weekly email blast with all this information. I'm sure we'll have Laura's information and lots of other wonderful things that are going on. So thank you for joining us.
And thank you all for being here tonight,
Yes.
too.
Thank you.
Oh, and Jen, thank you for...
Woohoo!
I got to spin.
Yes.